Hello, race fans. It is Wednesday night, and that means it is more ETVLive's live coverage of the MIRL, the Maritime iRacing League tonight, week 3 on part 2 of the 2013 campaign, and we travel to a family-owned racetrack out in Samsula, Florida, the new Smyrna Speedway, a 0.48-mile racetrack, asphalt surface with 4 turns and banking from 18 to 20 degrees. Hello, everybody. My name is Evan Pasoko, doing this one solo. We're going to be going 150 laps, or getting around this 0.48-mile racetrack with the MIRL. We got to take a look back over at last week. If you tuned in, some very interesting and controversial racing went on at the end involving Dylan Duval. Dylan Duval this week, however, won the Monday Night Sportsman Series race, making it 3 for 3. Craig McDonald actually blew a motor on a restart, so some notables from that. However, Dylan and Craig, both of separate division, but the top 6 finishers from the Monday night race do make it into tonight's race. However, Dylan and Craig do not do it as they are serving their 1 suspension. So that puts Kevin Walker, Brad Eddy, they have declined their invitations to tonight's race. So Stephen Arsenal, Mackenzie Brewer, Patrick Healy, Jeff Gilmore, and Luke Casey are going to make it into tonight's show. Luke Casey making their first appearance in tonight's race as the qualifying rounding down right now. Keith Mack on the provisional pole again tonight. It is the Sean's Simple Signs 150 here at New Smyrna. Take a look at Sean's Simple Signs, located in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Vinyl cut signs, anything from Chloroplast vinage to vehicle decaling. Call 902-578-7022 for more information on that. Again, qualifying winding down. We're going to actually go down trackside now for the national anthem. Qualifying officially coming to an end, so it will be Keith Mack taking the pole for tonight's race with a lap time of 17.92 seconds as the field is getting ready to take to the grid. Again, want to go over Monday night's results from the Sportsman Series. Again, Dylan Duval winning that race, however, serving his suspension not in tonight's race on the Wednesday night series. Kevin Walker in second, Stephen Arsenal in the 3rd spot, Brad Eddy in 4th, and Mackenzie Brewer in 5th. Again, some of those guys declining to come over. Walker and Eddy are not going to show up tonight, so Arsenal, Brewer, Healy, Gilmore, and Casey are in tonight's race, transferring over from that Monday night session. Let's take a look at the grid. Keith Mack on the pole outside of row number 1. In the 2nd spot is going to be the 48 of Jake Goodwin. Then you have Ricky Arbeau starting in the 3rd position. Starting 4th, the 34 of Mike Rhino. Starting 5th is Mike Alexander. 6th position goes to the 27 of Carter Wilson. 7th, the 98 of Stephen Matthews. Starting in 8th, the 38 of Travis Roma. And starting in 9th is the number 24 of Mark Williams. Starting 10th and rounding off the top 10 is the 6th of Nathan Doherty. Then you go to row number 6, starting in the 11th position, the 55 of Tracy Foster. Starting 12th, the 97 of Ronald McKay. 13th position is the 88 of Kevin Savory, and 14th, the 33 of Doug Hubley. How about Jeff Gilman in the 86, starting in the 15th position? 16th, the 5 of Patrick Healy, again making their debut in the Wednesday night series. It's the 4 of Luke Casey in the 17th spot. 18th spot, the 52 of Stephen Arsenal. Starting 19th, the 00 of Martin Landry. And 20th, the 75 of Tim Terry. Last car to take a time. Rounding off the field, 20th on back, 21st spot is going to be the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. 22nd position is the 23 of David Cassidy. And 23rd at the back of the pack in the 45 is Mackenzie Brewer. Again, on the schedule for tonight, 150 laps at the new Smyrna Speedway, located here in Florida. If you want to get technical, Central Florida. Again, a family-owned racetrack owned by the Hart family with a capacity crowd of 8,000 people. Track with a lot of history. You look back, the track itself was built in 1964 by Benny Corbin. Originally designed actually as a clay track. Over just 3 years later, in 1967, was converted to asphalt. In real life, hosting the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing, and also annually in November, the Florida Governor's Cup 200 Super Late Model Race is on this racetrack as well. The field is doubled up and rolling on the field right now. We're going to be looking for the green flag, I do believe, next time around the start-finish line. Again, a 0.48-mile racetrack here. Not a lot of space for 23 cars. We're going to see how these guys negotiate the next 150 laps. iRacing releasing a new build most recently today. Does not affect the late models. We talked to some drivers before the race. They said they don't notice any major changes to these cars. So it should be just another great short-track late model race here tonight. Again, Keith Mack, Jake Goodwin will be that front row for tonight's race. Again, for the John Simple Signs 150 at New Smyrna. Again, race number 3 on the second part of their 2013 campaign here on ETVLive. Again, the capacity crowd, 8,000 people, are starting to get up. The pace cars down to pit road. We're looking for the green flag. Keith Mack is off, and we are racing here for 150 laps. Going into turn 1, Mack is going to pull out in front of Goodwin. So the battle is on for the second position. The 34 car, Mike Rhino, can't make it stick on the top, so Ricky Arbeau is going to hang on to third. And now here comes the 15 of Mike Alexander into the picture. Alexander trying to pick up the 4 spot from Rhino. Rhino gets a good corner exit, and he will hang on for now. Taking a look back, everybody's still trying to get things settled out. Let's look at the 13th place car. That is the 6 of Nathan Doherty. Actually, I have a wreck. 1 car around, getting spun off 2. It's the 55, Tracy Foster. Caution flag is out. An incident out of turn number 2, self-spinning. Had a good qualifying effort. That 55 of Tracy Foster. Foster spun coming out of turn 2, got loose, overcorrected it, and spun it out. And actually, some other cars get involved. The 86 took a hit. That was Jeff Gilmet. Gilmet on that bottom line had nowhere to go, got into the 55, sent the 55 over, and the 52 of Stephen Arsenal, one of the drivers racing their way into tonight's race from the Monday night series, getting some damage as well. The 45 also involved in that incident. That was Mackenzie Brewer. So a tough break for some guys early on in the going, just a lap in, but that is going to put us under our first caution of the night. Again, you're watching the 2013 MIRL, the Maritime iRacing League, on ETVLive. Let's take a moment to talk about ETVLive. ETVLive is the only choice in simulation auto racing broadcasting since 2008. ETVLive has produced over 700 shows for over 220,000 viewers. ETV has pioneered and engineered some of the best innovations in online autosports broadcasting with 3 pricing packages available. Book yours today. The industry experts at ETVLive is the only choice. Contact us at www.etv-eplay.net or shoot us an email, etvlive@etv-eplay.net, for more information. Again, no lucky dog on that first incident, as that at the first caution coming out here early in the going on lap 2. It looks like the inside line obviously going to be the dominant line for tonight's race. We saw the field pretty much got single filed out real quick. Again, that incident actually came from a self spin, and the majority of the cars that ended up getting collected in that were just caught behind it and really had nowhere to go. Right now, taking a look, everybody's still on the racetrack at this point. The 57 of Jeff Gilmore is 3 laps down in that 23rd spot. The 55 Tracy Foster on pit road, 22nd spot, 3 laps down, getting that thing fixed. Then you got the 52 of Arsenal, 21st spot. He's 2 laps down, receiving repairs. And also the 86 of Gilmet on pit road for repairs as well. And again, a tight racetrack. It's not very wide, and when things get crazy, some of those guys really just had nowhere to go. The lights are still on that Ford First Racing Mustang pace car. They're going to be coming off here shortly, and we're going to be looking back for the green flag. Again, 150 laps at this point, 4/8 mile of a racetrack, New Smyrna Speedway, located in Florida. Again, Keith Mack, your leader right now. Jake Goodwin was able to hang on to the second position. No changes in the top 5 except for, or the first position change, I guess you could say. 6th spot, Carter Wilson starting in 6th, actually got passed by Mike Alexander. That is the only change. Or rather, Carter Wilson got replaced by Stephen Matthews. My apologies. They swapped spots there, negotiating that. But the field is doubled up. The lights are off on that pace car. We're going to work through turns number 3 and 4. And we're going to be looking back for that green flag and get this race back underway. The pace car is down. The green flag is out. Keith Mack leads us to the green. He's going to be able to clear the 48 of Goodwin by about half a car length, battling for second. The 61 Arbeau could not get a nose between Goodwin, and they're wrecking in the back. Caution flag is out. The 4 of Luke Casey involved, making their Wednesday night debut. Second caution, again, is going to come out right there in turn number 1. Looks like things got bottled up. If we can take a look at the replay, the incident occurred on lap number 8. Going into turn number 1, it is the 4 of Casey coming down to make a move on the 6 car of Nathan Doherty, and Casey accidentally cutting off the 33 of Doug Hubley, who was on that inside line trying to make a move on the 4. That spun the 4 out, which trapped the 00 of Martin Landry. Landry went all the way to the wall to try to avoid it, but that's right where that 4 car spun out, so the 4 went up and got right into that 00 car. And they are both now down pit road receiving repairs. I know Jeff Gilmet, who was involved in that first incident, has 16 minutes of repairs. So a rocky start to this race. Again, the simple signs 150 at the New Smyrna race. We're going to go take a real quick commercial break, and we're going to come back for the green flag.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Travis, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR highlight.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And welcome back to the New Smyrna Raceway under our second caution with the Maritime iRacing League. The Ford Mustang pace car just got down the pit road, and we are back to green flag racing. Keith Mack, again, going to lead us to the stripe. This time the 48 of Goodwin trapped on that high side by side for the lead. He's going to make it stick through the corner on the exit, advantage to the 22 of Mack. Let's see how they negotiate it into turn number 3. Again, still there. 48 is now going to drop off, and Keith Mack is going to retain the lead. Side by side, actually, for that third spot, the 61 Ricky Arbeau on the inside had it that time by, battling the 34 of Rhino. Rhino all the way up to the top is going to get a huge run down that back straightaway. Now side by side with Goodwin. However, that inside line is the preferred line, it would seem, but Rhino making it work on the top now has an advantage on the 48 of Goodwin. He's going to clear him going into 1. Goodwin going to battle back on that inside. Caution flag is going to fly, an incident on the racetrack. It's going to bring out our third caution of the night to this point. Looking for the cause of the incident right now was the 45 car of Mackenzie Brewer is going to go around with some trouble. Actually, a big wreck on that front straightaway. You take a look at the replay, lap 14 coming off of the corner. You got that 45 on the inside of Brewer. Brewer trying to get as much speed as he could, and the 23 of David Cassidy, maybe not as close to the wall as that 45 was expecting, hooked him around. The 45 made hard contact and actually went up and over on that front straightaway, went tumbling. The 23 spun into the inside wall, but Mackenzie Brewer taking a hard lick from that, barrel rolling down the front straightaway. That car is being pulled behind the wall, what's left of it. Another tough break for that, so that is going to put us under our third caution of the night here at the New Smyrna Raceway with the MIRL, the Maritime iRacing League, live on ETVLive. Under this caution, let's take this moment and take a look at the driver, Patrick Healy. Take a look in the 15th position, number 5 of Patrick Healy, racing for a cause and running for a cause tonight. Is raising money for Racing with Chelsea tonight. Is a Pictou County teen fighting Lyme disease, so that would explain the design on that race car, and a good cause being supported by the driver of that 5, Patrick Healy, tonight at the racetrack. Again, the Simple Signs, a 150, the Sean Simple Signs 150 at New Smyrna Speedway going on right now. If you want to take a look at Sean Simple Signs, it is located in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Vinyl cut signs and anything from Chloroplast signage to vehicle decaling. Give them a call at 902-578-7022 for more information on that. Luke Casey is going to be our lucky dog on that caution, so the 4 making the debut tonight in their first Wednesday night race, normally racing into Monday Night Sportsman Series. Got caught up in an early wreck, looking to redeem themselves right now. Again, 23 cars started this race, only 19 laps in. We have seen 3 cautions and only 16 cars remain on the lead lap at this point in the moment. And still working under the caution. Again, the top 10 right now: Keith Mack, Mike Rhino, Jay Goodwin, Ricky Arbeau, Mike Alexander, Stephen Matthews, Carter Wilson, Ronald McKay, Travis Roma, and Mark Williams. Those are the top 10 at the moment right now. Again, under our third caution at the moment. Again, if you guys are just joining us, big news out of last week's race. If you tuned in as we get ready to go green, Dylan Duvall and Craig McDonald are suspended from the Wednesday night series after their incident, so that would explain why they're not there. Dylan Duvall is 3 for 3, however, in the Monday night series. We are going to be looking for the green flag this time by, as the field is back doubled up and the lights are off on the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car. Working our way through turns number 3 and 4. Looking for the green. The pace car down to pit road. Keith Mack is going to lead us to the green again. The green flag is out. He's going to pull it to the lead, but keeping on that 34 of Rhino, who made that thing stick on that top side that last time. Taking a look there, he is not up there. The 22 of Mack is going to clear him. However, the 34 of Rhino is going to clear the 48 of Goodwin. Looks like that 34 Rhino is so strong on corner exit. And again, a caution flag is going to fly. It's going to be the 4th caution right now. I know that the 6th car of Nathan Doherty, slow at a turn number 4. He's involved in the incident. The caution is going to come out lap 22 down that back straightaway. You take a look at the 6 of Nathan Doherty going into turn 3. Was looking to go to the inside to try to arc it in there and maximize his speed. Little did he know that the 33 of Doug Hubley behind him was trying to make it in there on the inside. Tried to really throw it into the corner and make it stick. 66 did not see him coming, came down across the nose of the 33. 66 goes spinning up and into the inside, or the outside wall rather, right by the new Smyrna Speedway sign. And the 33 car, that driver actually ends up spinning into the series admin Tim Terry in the number 75 machine. Terry still on the lead lap, getting a piece of that action as well, which is going to put us under our 4th caution of the night. Again, a rocky start to the MIRL race here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Under this caution, we're going to take a moment to talk about, again, ETVLive Radio. ETVLive Radio is supported by the HD Radio Network, features classic rock every hour, every day. Listen to engaging talk shows such as the iRacing Today radio show on Monday nights and Rewind BS and Back Talk on Tuesday nights. ETVLive Radio featured in the sports section of iTunes. Get the mobile app from tunein.com and look for us on the Windows Media Guide. ETVLive Radio on the HD Radio Network. We're going to be looking, again, the drivers making comments on long caution laps so far. Right now, the Goodyear Superior Performer is that Ford First Racing Mustang pace car, as some drivers having trouble negotiating these tight, tricky turns of the new Smyrna Speedway. Again, take a quick look at the track facts of this track. Only 4/8 of a mile in length, so almost a half-mile speedway, just slightly smaller than the Martinsville Speedway. That track was built way back in 1964 as a clay track, was reconfigured to an asphalt track 3 years later. 18 to 20 degrees of banking, so these guys are going on some serious banking in these late metal cars, so it's going to be interesting to see who can do it. But I want to say you got to keep an eye on that 34 of Mike Rhino. He is definitely, he started this race in the 4th position, and he's sitting in 2nd right now, so that doesn't sound like much of an improvement. When you look at such the short green flag runs that we've seen, maximum 2-3 laps, he has made that car work on that top lane, which nobody else has done yet to this point. So I think that could definitely give him that advantage as the laps start to wind down. Again, 150 on the board, nearly 27 in at this point, so still a long way to go. But definitely that 34, if he can make that top line work, which nobody else has been able to, that will give him an upper hand in the going laps, especially when you're in a side-by-side battle and you don't want to have to back off and fall back in line on that inside. The lights are off on the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car up there. Keith Mack is again going to lead us to the green flag, and we're going to see how they negotiate this as that pace car gets ready to dive down the pit road. There he goes. The field in the hands of Keith Mack. He waits a little longer. The green flag is out, and we're racing here on lap 28. However, the 34 Rhino, not the best start this time. Just drop back a little bit, which allows the 48 of Goodwin, but there goes that 34 with that speed on the top, and he's going to clear Goodwin now. Goodwin definitely not a slow car, so it just shows how strong the 34 of Rhino is. Let's take a look back in the pack. How about the 6th position car, the 98 of Stephen Matthews? He is in the middle of 2 side-by-side battles right here on that inside line. What he's going to want to do is, if those cars on the top line of those battles can't hang on, he's going to want to try to get in on the back bumper, say that 15 car right in front of him of Mike Alexander, to try to take another spot from that 61 of Arbeau. If Arbeau can't hang on to it on the top, there he goes. Stephen Matthews to the inside of the 61. Exactly what he was looking to do. 61 with the advantage, 98 on the inside. The inside is the strongest line at this point in the race. You see he pulls away there in the middle of the corner. 61 fights back on exit, but definitely not wasting any ground for sure. How about behind them, the 27 of Carter Wilson? Wilson on the inside of the 97 of Ronald McKay, this time going into turn 3 as they single file out in front of them. The 27 of Wilson starting this race in 6th, so he's sitting 8th, has had some early troubles. 97 McKay actually having some electrical problems there on that top lane, and he's up high and letting the cars around him, so that is a big mechanical or electrical issue. The 97 Ronald McKay is up against the wall trying to get out of the way as he's having some difficulties there with the net code and causing a hazard on the track. The next battle, if you take a look, the 10th place car is the 24 of Mark Williams. Williams has actually just gotten around the 97 of Ronald McKay, so McKay losing that spot as the 24 of Williams makes that work. So shuffling all over the racetrack. However, only 14 cars remain on the lead lap after the 23 that started this, only 34 into this thing. Several drivers lapped down from damage, and several of them still sitting on pit road to try to get that fixed. Up front, however, we're starting to single file out. Race leader, the number 22 of Keith Mack, has a 0.5 of a second lead over Mike Rhino in the 34. Rhino, again, has looked so strong on those restarts to this point in the race. Surprising that he has not caught Mack, but it's showing Mack with the fastest car. Definitely, you take a look in qualifying, they ran almost 18 seconds, so the tire wear and everything, they're only about half a second off that last time by race leader Keith Mack, running an 18.6, and Jake Goodwin in second position, running an 18.6 as well. So pretty even, actually. Rhino's going to make up a little bit of time 2 laps ago, but however, now 7/10 off. So Keith Mack, definitely the class of the field. If you take a look at his line, going into the corner, he sweeps all the way down to almost below that yellow line on the bottom of the track, and then swings wide on the top. Same thing with Rhino again, but Rhino's car was really striving when he had the battle of car on the inside. So again, the inside, you can't get to the gas as much. That's why these guys are going up to the wall when there's a car on your outside. You can't get in the gas that much. You can't get that much speed. So that's what causes that. So Rhino, I guess, it was benefiting from those cars on the inside, but maybe does not have the solo speed. He lost another 10th there, rather. Now 8/10 off. Now the 15 of Mike Alexander in that third spot is starting to close on Rhino and might try to challenge for that second position here in not too long. Last car on the lead lap right now is the number 6 of Nathan Doherty in the 14th position. Doherty 7 seconds off of race leader Keith Mack, with the lap times just over 19 seconds. If he continues to drop time, he could get caught up in some trouble here as the laps wind down. But the battle is picking up for second now, side by side. The 15 of Mike Alexander in third, just trying to get to the inside of Rhino. Couldn't make a stick. He's going to throw it in there and turn run. Remember, though, this is where Rhino was strongest on those restarts. Side by side, down the back straightaway, going into turn number 3. It's the 15 with the advantage, and he's going to clear him. So Mike Alexander going to the second spot. And now the 61, however, Ricky Arbeau is coming into the picture. Arbeau now only 2 car lengths off of the back bumper of Mike Rhino, was able to gain some ground when those guys were side by side. He's about 2 car lengths off of them right now. Again, trying to capitalize. Looks like the 34 of Rhino not quite as strong as he was in those opening laps at the beginning of the race, and that's why he's not able to do that. Take a look for battles on the racetrack. We got a big group of cars here. Look at the 48 of Jake Goodwin. Goodwin in the 7th position. Goodwin was running up front the majority of the race. He qualified in second. At this point, running in 7th, and he is in a big group of cars. Just a car length in front of him, he has the 88 of Kevin Savory. Just a car length behind him is the 38 of Roma, and then the 97 of McKay there as well. So these 4 almost riding together in a single file line. Looking to make a move, though, is that 38. You saw that Travis Roma got close to the back bumper of Jake Goodwin that last time by, possibly trying to look to make a move. But these guys so close together that if somebody messes up, you can easily lose a spot. Now that 38 of Roma's going to go to the inside, so we're side by side with Roma and Goodwin in turns number 3 and 4. 38 with a big wiggle, 48 with one as well. They're going to hang on to it. However, the caution flag is going to fly for the 5th caution of the night, and that's going to put us under the caution flag at this moment. Taking a look for the cause of the caution at this point right now. And taking a look for the cause of the caution at this point under our 5th caution of the night here at the New Smyrna Raceway. And that green flag run gave us our first real indication of how these guys' cars are. But now the guys are going to come down pit road, led by race leader Keith Mack. So let's see how pit road goes and if any position shuffling will occur as they come down pit road. Again, pit road speed is 35 miles an hour. They both ease into their pit stalls. Keith Mack, again, sitting on the pole in that 22, has that last pit box, which is oh so important, and is coming down for his service. It has been determined it's a phantom caution, but the caution flag definitely out. So everybody on pit road right here, taking on tires and fuel. Again, it takes a lot longer for these things to get tires and fuel than a NASCAR stock car, so you'll see them on pit road a little bit longer. It's going to be the 34 of Rhino first off of pit road with a great pit stop. as everybody was shuffling there at the very last second. I do believe the 48 car getting out second off pit road being Jake Goodwin, followed by the 15 of Alexander, and then the 22 of Keith Mack actually fourth. So big shuffles down there on the pit lane can shake things up here for sure. At this point right now, being shown as the leader is the number 75 of the series admin, Tim Terry. Nathan Doherty in the second position. He just came down pit road this last time by, so stayed out one more lap, and now the 75 of Terry is going to come down pit road this time off of the corner, which will give the lead to that 34 of Mike Rhino. Rhino, we know, has a strong car and looked very strong in those opening laps, but again, that last run that we saw of about 20 laps was the first real green flag run that we've seen from these guys, so we could tell how their cars were acting, and it didn't look like Rhino had the best car when it came to the single file racing each other down, as opposed to the side-by-side, which we saw early. So it'll be interesting to see how that's negotiated, and it'll be interesting to see what our race leader, or our previous race leader, will do. Keith Mack is actually in the 5th spot at this current moment. Mack has led us to the green flag on all the restarts so far, so he really hasn't run in the pack with pressure, with cars on his sides every time. So let's see how that 22 car will act around traffic to this point in the race as well, again under our 5th caution of the night right now as the field starts to double up, and we're going to be looking for the green flag here. Again, Mike Rhino, Jake Goodwin will make up the front of the field. How about Goodwin starting this race in the 2nd spot, drop back to 7th, but a great pit stop is going to put him back up there on the front row. Race officials now are going to throw the caution one more time, so we're going to go one more lap before we do indeed come to take the green flag. Under this caution, let's take a real quick moment to talk about Inside Sim Racing, sponsoring the Thursday Night Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series. Inside Sim Racing, your first and best choice for all the news and reviews in online motorsports. Join Darren Ganji and Sean Cole for the latest and greatest in product reviews, simulation, auto racing games, and PCs and the Xbox crowd. From steering wheels to full-size racing rigs, updates on popular racing games, and a whole lot more, the yellow pages of online auto racing, the Inside Sim Racing, has it all. Visit them at www.ilsrtv.com. We're going to be looking for the green flag this time by, as the field again still side by side in 3 and 4. The lights are off on that Ford First Racing Mustang pace car. It is down pit road. Mike Ryan, wasting no time. He takes off in the 34, but a good start by Goodwin as well. We're going to be all bunched up going into turn number 1. Does everybody make it through clean? Position shuffling right now. Rhino's going to pull up the first, and now the 15 of Alexander's on the inside of the 48 of Goodwin. Side by side for second. Give Alexander that spot. Now the 27 of Wilson using that inside line to his advantage after restarting 5th. He's going to go to the inside of the 48 of Goodwin. The Goodwin gets real loose, goes all the way up the racetrack, and Jake Goodwin is losing several spots all the way back to about 10th after a really bad entry in middle of turns 1 and 2 after he had a big wobble, able to hang on to it, but now drops almost to mid-pack. Next side-by-side battle on the track is for the 5th position, the 97 of Ronald McKay on the inside, under attack from the 61 of Ricky Arbeau. Arbeau is going to make it work on the top out of the 97, keeping his nose there. 61's going to clear him at the start-finish line, so Ricky Arbeau now is going to move up into that 5th position, taking that away from the number 97 of Ronald McKay at this point. Still 14 cars on the lead lap after the debris caution, you could say, which just came out just laps ago, which put us under our 5th caution of the night. So again, lots of drivers still in contention. We have passed the 1/3 of the mark, again 150 laps at the new Smyrna Speedway, currently working lap number 57, and the battle is heating up front because the 15 of Alexander to the inside, this time by the stripe. Rhino barely with the advantage. How did they negotiate it into turn number 1? The 27 really throwing it in there. That's Carter Wilson in 3rd. 15 Alexander with about a half a car length advantage though into turn number 3. There on that bottom line, almost gets clear, and he's going to do it, makes it stick, and the 15 of Mike Alexander is going to go to the race lead for the first time tonight after starting in the 5th spot. Now we're side by side for second. The 34 of Rhino just does not have the speed that he's looking for right now, but still is a very strong car to run up there in the top 3. But I don't know if that 27 of Wilson is going to be in 3rd much longer. However, he's under attack. Now the 22 of Keith Mack to the inside. Now we're side by side for that 3rd spot. with Mack trying to make it work on the inside. 27 car, Wilson on the top is going to clear him down the backstretch, but now in 322 gets back side by side. Great corner, really throws it in there. He's going to pick up that spot as well, so move Keith Mack into the third position right now, and the 27 of Wilson is going to go back into fourth position. Next battle we can take a look at on the racetrack is for the 12th spot. The 6th of Nathan Doherty in 12th position was under attack by the 98 of Stephen Matthews. Matthews trying to make it work, almost pushed up and got to the left rear of that 6 of Nathan Doherty, this time going into turn number 1. Can't get it done, so Doherty hanging his own for now. The 98 all over the racetrack trying to make something work. Got way below the yellow line that last time through turns 1 and 2. This time in 3 and 4 plays it a little bit more safe, you could say. It's just about 3 car lengths off, really throwing it into the corner there. You saw it in turn 1, trying to get what he can. So the 98 of Stephen Matthews at almost the tail end of the lead lap, 13th spot, started this race 7th, so has lost a significant amount of position since we went to the green flag. Is trying to make some aggressive moves to get by that 6 of Doherty, however can't get it done quite yet. A lot of cars running in another single file group behind the 24 of Mark Williams. In 10th is the 75 of Terry, the 8 of Doherty, and then that 98 of Matthews just in front of that battle we were looking at. Tim Terry has been involved in an incident earlier so far in the running. Got some front end damage after getting collected in an incident going into turn number 3. He is still in that 11th spot with a pretty decent car, so don't count him out if this continues to go. However, the last car on the lead lap, if we can take a look at him, is the 14th position car, the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. Gilmore 17 seconds off of race leader with 19-second laps. He's going to push up in 3 and 4, and there goes Mike Alexander. So the 57 of Gilmore is going to lose his lap, and just as that happens, the caution flag is going to fly again. So we're going to be under our 7th caution of the night so far to this point. The Ford First Racing Mustang pace car out on the racetrack, and we're going to double them back up and go back to racing. Again, 7th caution so far at the MIRL New Smyrna Speedway. Again, it is the Sean Simple Signs 150 here tonight. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll come back for some more green flag racing on ETV Live.
Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you could hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV Live, sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
And we're back live at the new Smyrna Speedway for the MIRL 2013 campaign with the Sean Simple Signs 150 working lap number 72 under our 7th caution of the night. We're going to be looking for the green flag, and my name is Evan Pasoko here. We're live on ETVLive, the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car, working their way through the turns, this time off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. The field is doubled up, and again we will be looking for the green flag to go green once we take lap number 73 of 150 laps. So we are approaching the halfway point in this race, but with 7 cautions, it's been a rough night for some people on the track. Pace cars down pit road. The 61 hesitates a lot and then goes, so Ricky Arbeau going to go to the green flag, playing some games with that 97 of McKay. McKay going to pull in line in second, side by side for third, give that to the 15 of Mike Alexander. So Alexander there, also the 22 Mac, Keith Mac that is going to pick up fourth. So everybody's single filing out in those top 4, but it is a mess of race cars. If you look from about 5th on back, the 75 of Tim Terry is on the apron on that bottom of the racetrack after getting really loose off turn 4. The 4 car is going to go around. That's Luke Casey. Casey's going to straighten that back out and keep going after putting that thing sideways on the grass. No caution on the racetrack. So we're still racing and a lot of action right behind the number 97. Let's take a look at the 88 car of Kevin Savory into 88 and 5th. Position there on the inside. The 27 of Carter Wilson wants his spot on that top and is getting that run on the top side. It's just a matter of if he can clear that 88 and to pick up that spot. He's got it set up this time. However, now he's going to go to the outside of the 97 of Ronald McKay. So the 27 of Carter Wilson again with aggressive moves after starting in the 6th spot. The 27 is on the top side of that 97. He actually led him that last lap. So the scoring showing the 27 of Wilson in 4th, but these are 2 guys, 2 deep, 2 by 2, and 4th on back. So there's the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th position, as now the 88 of Savory can't keep that side by side. The 34 of Rhino gets way sideways off of the corner. He's able to hang on for now, and then they single file back out with Wilson, eventually coming up victorious over the 97 of McKay for that 4th spot. And continuing to look through the field under green flag situation right now, Mike Alexander, race leader, started this race 5th. The pole sitter Keith Mack is in 2nd. Mack looking to reclaim the lead after a not so perfect pit stop. Earlier on in the going here, actually got beat off pit road by 4 other race cars, which put him back to 5th. So he's worked his way back up into that 2nd spot. However, has a little bit to go if he wants to get back to the lead, because Mike Alexander in that number 15 definitely has a strong car, and that proves why he is leading up front at the top of the pack right now. 12 cars remain on the lead lap as we are past that halfway point. Lap 81 on the board right now of 150, and side by side for 4th, it is the number 27 of Carter Wilson. Actually, side by side for 3rd it would be, because the 3rd place car, the 61 of Ricky Arbeau, is under attack by the 4th place car is the 27 of Wilson. Wilson just laps ago making that move around Ronald McKay in the 97 and is now looking for more as he tries to enter the top 3. Bit about a car length off of the back bumper of that number 61 of Arbeau for the time being. Again, how about that 97 of Ronald McKay? Take a look at him, 7th spot. Just lost 2 more positions on that last lap after a wiggle, allowing the 34 of Rhino and the 88 of Kevin Savory to both get around him. So Ronald McKay now dropping back into the 7th spot at this point. Jake Goodwin behind him. Goodwin, another fast car, qualifying in the 2nd spot. Actually currently sitting 8 at the moment. Other than that, things starting to single file out up front and on the only 12 cars that are on the lead lap for that matter. Patrick Healy in the number 5. Again, we talked about the cause that he's racing for earlier on in the broadcast. He is the last car on the lead lap right now, starting to lose time, 11.5 seconds back. If you are just tuning in again, Patrick Healy raising money for the Racing for Chelsea program. There's a Pick 2 County teen fighting Lyme disease, which is represented on his paint scheme there in tonight's race. Again, the number 27 of Carter Wilson in the 4th spot is the most aggressive driver of the lead lap cars. And now the caution flag is going to fly. So this is going to be our 8th caution of the night to this point. So caution flag out. It is for the number 33 car. So we found it this time. 3 laps down is the 33 of Doug Hubley with some trouble off of turn 4 on lap 80. 33 was side by side with the 75 of Tim Terry, a lead lap car. Looks like that car just broke loose coming out of the corner. Maybe put a little bit more wheel into it, trying to give that 75 of Terry a little bit more room, knowing that Terry is a lead lap car and didn't want to cause anything. And that car, obviously with some damage from an earlier wreck, was real slow on the bottom and eventually got into the inside wall, came up and actually got onto the asphalt racing surface, which does bring out our caution. So again, that is the 8th caution. All the leaders are now down pit road, led by the 15 of Mike Alexander. They're going to take on tires and fuel on this stop. Lucky Dog is going to go to the number 24 of Mark Williams. But will Alexander lead us off pit road? Keith Mack tried it last time. He couldn't do it. Mack is going to challenge for it, and Keith Mack is going to take it back and lead it off of pit road. So the 22 capitalizing this time after losing 4 spots last time down pit road, beats race leader Mike Alexander off pit road, and the 22 is going to go back to the top of the leaderboard right now on lap 88. We are on the downhill side of things. Again, working lap 88 of 150, so we have passed the halfway point, and now the laps will begin to tick off. And with only 13 drivers now on the lead lap, several cars 1 lap down that can benefit from a caution and get the lucky dog call. It's going to be very interesting to see how it is negotiated here in these closing laps. We've seen some drivers look dominant on one green flag run, and the next time they drop off. So whoever can have the most consistency when it comes down to it is probably going to go to the victory lane here and pick up the win here for week number 3 on their 2013 fall campaign with the Maritime iRacing League. Again, we're going to run you through your top 10 cars right now as we work our way under the caution flag. It is Keith Mack in the number 22 who regained that lead, sitting down there on a pit road. So he is your current race leader. 15 of Mike Alexander in second. The 61 of Ricky Arbeau in the 3rd spot. Tim Terry making an appearance up front. The 75 of Tim and Terry in the 4th spot. How about Kevin Savory in the 88 in the top 5 in that 5th position, with the 97 of Ronald McKay. McKay being shown in the 6th spot. Jake Goodwin in 7th. Patrick Healy in 8th. Travis Roma 9th. And Stephen Matthews 10th. But we are doubled up down the back straightaway. The Ford First Racing Mustang pace car going to pull down pit road this time at a turn number 4. And it's going to be Keith Mack once again leading us back to the green flag. The pace car is down. The 22 waits, and there he goes. Keith Mack takes us back to the green flag to take lap number 92. The 15 of Alexander hanging on to the 2nd spot. The 61 of Arbeau gets through clean, so we're side by side for 4th. The 75 Tim Terry on the top side trying to make that work. The 88 of a Savory on the inside. Savory battling back hard. The 88 is going to spin it off turn 4 into the inside wall. Kevin Savory, a top 5 runner. No caution will fly, but the 88 racing hard with Terry's going to get into the inside wall and go all the way to the back of the lead lap. So tough break for that 88 off of turn 4, racing hard with Terry. So that settles that battle for the 4th spot. The 75 of Tim Terry is going to be hanging on for that, but he is under attack by the 97 of Ronald McKay. McKay really with a great run there off of turn number 2 on the inside. This time Baez is going to clear the 75 with ease. Terry's going to pull back in line, but is going to be under attack here not too shortly from the 48 Jake Goodwin. Goodwin, 6th place car, is going to go to the inside, and he's going to go around Tim Terry as well. So Tim Terry, a consistent lead lap car so far tonight, but just does not quite have the speed to challenge with these front runners. And another fast car is going to be coming up behind him is the 34 of Mike Rhino. Rhino to the inside that time there in turn number 1. Rhino's going to get around him, the 27 of Carter Wilson. Wilson now side by side with him. Going to go into turn number 3. Wilson should clear him here, and Wilson will do that in the 27, and another 98 of Matthews going to go to the inside of him as well. So the 75 Tim Terry, trouble on the top, just cannot hang with these front runners. And you got to take a look at the 48 of Goodwin, 5th, 6th place, 34 of Rhino, 7th, the 27 of Wilson. Those are 3 guys that are running, I guess you could call it mid-pack on that lead lap of cars that can win this thing. In cautions and pit road have been shown so far tonight to really shake up our running order. So those guys, again, with cars that can definitely win it, but I don't think they can do it because from 4th place on back, you're 2 seconds back, and then our top 3 within tenths of a second. Actually, our Bo 4 tenths off of Alexander because the battle is on for the lead. Again, Mike Alexander is trying to get that spot back from Keith Mack. Mack reclaiming the lead after getting that spot on pit road, overtaking the 15 with a great pit stop, which is the same way that he lost the lead earlier on in the race. So the 22 of Keith Mack with a fast race car, again, pole sitter. In practice, he was 7th fastest, so he definitely found something when it came to race trim. Trying to hang on to the top spot, however, the 15 of Alexander closing now to a car length off that back bumper. Taking a look on board there with the number 15 of Mike Alexander as we take 50 laps to go at the new Smyrna Raceway, currently working lap 101 of 150. Here, Keith Mack, your leader, again on board with the 15. You're taking a look at that 22 in front of him, trying to figure out a line that can catch that 22 is Mike Alexander in the 2nd spot. We know Alexander has a strong car. The question is, can he get it done here without needing an additional caution? Because it really seems that those who can really benefit from those side-by-side battles have been strong so far to this point in the race. But Mack is starting to chip away now, 3/10 of a second, now 0.36 seconds. Still on, we're going to go on board with Alexander here, stick with him for a couple laps. You can just see how he's going to try to work that line, try to pick up some tenths on Mack. Over Mack picked up about half a tenth. That last lap is now 0.36 with the lead, this time by the stripe, 0.3 so 35 of a second lead for Mike Alexander. So Alexander again 3/5 off, 35 hundredths of a second rather off of Keith Mack. Made up some time that last lap. He's trying to make it up. It looks like the 15 throwing it into the corner, maybe a little bit harder than that 22 of Keith Mack. Benefits him on quarter entry. However, the 22 of Mack taking a little bit of an easier entry can actually get back in the gas, coming off of the corner a little bit earlier, and that's why he's slowly extending his lead over that 15 of Mike Alexander. Alexander using every part of the racetrack to get as much time as he can, but now Keith Mack gaining nearly a tenth that lap, so Alexander's lead, or Alexander's gap rather, to Mack is almost a half a second. And continuing to battle up front, the 22 of Keith Mack, who has a spotter on the radio, there's letting them know that the laps continue to wind down. Just a couple laps shy of 40 to go, and with less than 20 second laps here at the new Smyrna Speedway. There's not a lot of racing left to go, but a lot can happen in this time like we saw last week. I don't think this race is anywhere from done for sure. Again, continuing to battle up front. Battle going on now back in the pack. 34 of Mike Rhino in the 6th spot is trying to make something work on the 48 of Jake Goodwin. Goodwin in the 5th position. The 27 also Carter Wilson trying to make a move on Rhino. Trying to use Rhino's concentration that Rhino's focused on Goodwin. Trying to use that against him and try to sneak in there to the inside or the top side of the 34 of Rhino and try to make something work. But nothing brewing just quite yet. Or the 15, Mike Alexander again back up in that 2nd spot. You got to take a look at him trying to get some consistent lap times going. Is caught again, Keith Mack again taking that distance back down to 2/10 of a second, and in a striking position this time by the start-finish line. It will be 40 laps to go with the number 22 up front. The 15's there though, by all means, now 0.20 seconds off. But now here comes the lap traffic. So how will they negotiate this? The 52 of Stefan Arsenal sitting 11 laps down, going to go up to the top to yield to the leaders, so no incident there. And you got to look at the 61 of Ricky Arbeau. Arbeau gaining 2/10 on race leader Keith Mack that last lap. So the 61 in third behind Alexander is also going to try to come up into this mix here up at the front of the field and try to make something work. Again, a good green flag run going. We've had a couple of cautions. The beginning of the race was tough with such a high number of race cars on the track, 23 on a 4/8 mile racetrack. Got a couple of early cautions. Since then, we've had some pretty decent green flag runs here with the MIRL, the Maritime iRacing League, live on ETVLive. Again, tonight's race, the Sean Simple Signs 150 at the new Smyrna Speedway. Keith Mack is going to be looking to be the victor in that, pick up his first win in the Wednesday night series on this second part of the 2013 campaign. Mike Alexander looking to do the exact same thing and continues to close now about only half of a second off of the back bumper of the 22 of Mack, this time by the start-finish line. Again, if you've tuned in weeks past, you'll know that, again, definitely a strong runner in this series is Dylan Duval. Duval racing full-time in the Monday night series. Has won all 3 Monday night races. Again, this is week 3. Has won all 3 of them. However, he's not here tonight because if you tuned in last week, you saw a heated and overheated battle between him and Craig McDonald. They've both been suspended from the Wednesday night series, so Duval actually won this past race at Monday, making it 3 for 3 for him, but is not at tonight's race serving his suspension, so we're looking to see them next week if Duval can pick up another victory and go 4 for 4 in the Monday night Sportsman Series. Again, how that works is the Monday night Sportsman Series is a top 6 finishers from that race do get an invitation to race here in the Wednesday night series to be broadcast, and then the big show that you could call it. Again, 2 guys that declined to get in here from last week's race, or from Monday's race rather. Kevin Walker and Brad Eddy did not show up, so Stefan Arsenault, Mackenzie Brewer, Patrick Keeley, Jeff Gilmore, and Luke Casey. Those are the qualifiers or the transfers that you could call her from the Monday night race to tonight. So you take a look at them, some of them having strong nights, some of them having troubles, but a big pack. The 48 of Jake Goodwin almost in the grass down the back straightaway. The 34 of Rhino going to get around him, and now the 98 of Stephen Matthews on the top side in that pink car with the breast cancer ribbon on the hood's actually going to get around him as well. So Goodwin loses 2 spots that last lap and almost contact with Matthews. Matthews was almost getting into the back bumper of Mike Rhino over the radio, just letting them know incidental contact. They're not trying to overwork the back bumper of each other. So a good battle going on between these 4 cars, positions 5, 6, 7 at a caution. 1 car on the bottom of the racetrack on the front straightaway. The caution flag is going to come out. That is Jeff Gilmore. Gilmore, one of the transfers from the Monday night series, is around on the front straightaway. And a caution will come out again. Another guy with damage from earlier on in the going. 3 laps down, just got all the way out of the gas once he got sideways, but it just spun around, and his car actually became stopped on that front straightaway. Nobody else involved. He didn't get into the inside wall, but again, he has damage from earlier on in the going, but that is going to bring out our caution here on lap number 120 for the race leaders, working lap 121 right now. We are in the home stretch. Who will get the victory lane at the new Smyrna Speedway? We're going to find out once we come back from a quick commercial break as the leaders go down pit road. You're watching ETVLive's live coverage of the Maritime iRacing League.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Plus other listeners, we can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETVLive, sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
And back live here at the new Smyrna Speedway with ETVLive's live coverage of the 2013 Part 2 campaign with the Maritime iRacing League. Again, my name is Evan Pasoko. We are in the home stretch of things here with the Sean Simple Signs, pardon me, the Sean Simple Signs 150 at the new Smyrna Speedway. Less than 30 laps to go, and the field is doubled up. We're going to be looking for that green flag as the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car works its way through turns number 3 and 4. This time, Stephen Matthews is going to be leading us to the green flag. There they are off, and we're back green flag racing. 3 wide behind them, the 48 of Goodwin to the inside of the 15. He's going to try to back out of it, but there's still going to be 3 wide. The 48 pushes up, gets into Terry. The 27 of Wilson is around. Caution flag back out. And that was a very hectic restart, and we're back under caution immediately after a 3 wide gone wrong in turn number 1. If we can get the replay up on that, it was the 48 of Goodwin. Goodwin got a great start there and went to the inside of the 15. 15 almost tried to block him. 48 got out of the gas, but he was still 3 wide with Tim Terry. Terry moving up to give him some room. Actually, the 48 Goodwin pushes up, gets into Terry. Terry gets into that 27, and that sent Wilson around. Wilson puts the back end of that car into the wall, evidently bringing out our 9th caution or 10th caution, I do believe, on the night. We have just about been racing for about an hour here. Again, 150 laps at the new Smyrna Speedway. It's all going to come down to this. And some changing happened there on pit road. Remember when we went to commercial break, Keith Mack was your leader. The 61 of Ricky Arbeau passed him on the pit lane, making a faster stop, beat him off. However, the 97 of McKay and Stephen Matthews, not pitting, will be in the 1st and 2nd position under the caution. So we'll see if that strategy pays off for them. The whole not pitting. And will they have enough tires to make it to the end? You also got to look at fuel. Actually, the 97 of Ronald McKay did come down pit road. He only took 2 tires, however. So my apologies there. So race leader Stephen Matthews with no tires. 2nd place car Ronald McKay with 2 tires. And a 3rd place car on back, all on 4. It'll be interesting to see how they negotiate that. Again, that was our most hectic restart by far that we have seen all night long, and the leader can decide when he wants to go green from the time that Ford First Racing Mustang pace car gets below that yellow line to the time when the flagman actually throws the green flag there as we cross it there with the pink start-finish line for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That he went right away. Matthews wasted no time in the 98, and everybody was up on the loud pedal getting ready to go, and that's what caused that big stack up in turn number 1. Thankfully, only 1 car involved, but I don't expect anything less here in this ensuing restart. Again, this time by the leader's going to come by under caution to take 20 laps to go at a 0.48 mile racetrack like the new Smyrna Speedway. It's going to be crazy to the finish. Lots of contenders, basically positions first through everybody on that lead lap. You look, you got a Stephen Matthews, Ronald McKay, Ricky Arbeau, Keith Mack, Mike Alexander, Mike Rhino, Jake Goodwin, Travis Roma, Tim Terry, Arian Carter, Wilson in 11th. All those guys have been up front all night long. They have been exchanging positions. But this is when it counts. Some guys have a lot more work to do than others, but anybody can get the victory lane. You look at what happened last week in the closing. This race is far from over. We are going to go look for the green flag. Do they make it through turns 1 and 2? And who is going to get the best jump? The 98 of Stephen Matthews is going to be leading us to the green flag. The Ford First Racing Mustang pace car off of turn number 4. There goes the 98. The green flag in the air. He's going to clear with ease the 97 of McKay. And now we're side by side for 3rd. Ricky Arbeau on the inside of the 22 of Keith Mack. Mack going to lose that spot. The 97 is dropping back. Ronald McKay actually is challenging for the lead, rather, on the top side. McKay trying to make that work on the top of the race leader, the 98 of Stephen Matthews. That time by the stripe. McKay had it by 8,000. Things really starting to stack up side by side all the way through the top 10 right now. Big group of cars at the front of the field. Everybody looking for the win. McKay does get that lead now, so the 97 of Ronald McKay in the closing laps is going to go to the point after starting 12th. Can he hang on? They're side by side for third. The 22 of Keith Mack getting into the back of the 98 of Matthews. The 61 of Ricky Arbo on his inside, trying to pick up that spot. Now the 22 goes to the top, 61 at the bottom, 3 wide. The 98 of Matthews gets spun off of the corner into the inside wall. Caution flag will fly. And another twist of events as the man that looked like he was about to throw this thing out and take it home and capitalize in the closing laps gets spun in a 3-wide situation. The 61 of Arbo going to the inside, couldn't keep it low enough. 98 into the inside wall. Caution flag is out. And again, the picture at the front of the field changes. Now it's going to be McKay in the 97 up front. Keith Mack on his outside, and if that was any indication of some hard racing, that whole top 8 cars, they were all side by side jostling for position. It was only a matter of time before somebody made it 3 wide. You can't really tell someone to back off with less than 15 to go. Looking for a win in the MIRL Wednesday night big league series, you could call it here, that gets broadcasted on the ETVLive. Again, the Super Series, I guess, is the official name for it here on Wednesday nights. You can't just tell anybody to calm down. They're going to be going for that victory. A lot of great drivers, a lot of fast cars, a lot of beat-up sheet metal, and that's just some classic short track racing, especially at a track like this, the new Smyrna Speedway, again, 0.48 of a mile with banking about 20 degrees with an asphalt surface. It doesn't not get much better than this. So we're going to see how this is going to turn out. With the laps, again, continuing to wind down. This is starting to look like the picture we saw after we took the initial green flag. We saw lots of quick cautions after short green flag runs. Then once we got to the middle part of the race, long green flag runs of 40 laps in upwards of 40, 30 laps thereabouts. We saw about 2-3 good green flag runs. Now when it's down to the end, it's every man for himself. Again, all that time on pit road where we've seen the majority of shuffling happen with race leaders to everything you've done on the track right now, it's put you in position. Now you got to work with it, and you got to get yourself to the victory lane using what you have right now with no assistance. Again, race leader Ronald McKay. Keith Mack is going to be side by side with him. Second row will be Ricky Arbo, Mike Alexander. Third row, Mike Rhino and Jake Goodwin. So everybody on this lead lap can make it through this, or they could all end up in the fence. We don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a wild finish, to say the least, at the new Smyrna Speedway, and all these guys up front are going to be looking for their first win on the second part of the 2013 MIRL campaign. Right now, the light's still on that Ford First Racing Mustang pace car. Well, let's talk real quick before we get the green flag about Tim's Corner Motorsports. Who said there aren't any race cars in Canada? Tim's Corner Motorsports, your one-stop shop for everything racing in Canada, with weekly driver spotlights, photo galleries, and weekly racing news. Tim's Corner has it all. Check out Tim's Corner Motorsports Unplugged as well, where Tim Terry gets real, gets down, and gets it on with live reports and interviews. Tim's Corner Motorsports Canadian racing news at timscorner.ca. Check that out. Tim Terry, race admin, sitting in the 8th position. We are going to be looking for the green flag. Who makes it work here? Side by side now. The lights are off on the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car. We are going to be looking for the green flag. We're going to keep you non-stop side by side with those leaders. Let's take a look. Green flag is out. The 97 of McKay gets a great jump side by side. Now for second, the 61 of Ricky Arbo to the inside of the 22 of Keith Mack, battling hard for the second spot. The sooner they get single filed out, the sooner that they can catch McKay. But can McKay hang on? He's got about a 1.5 car length to the 61 of Arbo. Arbo still side by side. This time by the stripe, Mack is going to lead Arbo there for that second position. Side by side, the 48 of Goodwin, and up into the outside wall. He's going to clip another car. Caution flag will fly. 98's in it as well. Caution flag will fly. This is going to set up for a shootout at the end of this thing. Now what's happened side by side with the 48 of Jake Goodwin with the 34 of Rhino. Rhino and Goodwin getting just so close to each other, not giving each other an inch, trying to get as much draft as they could, trying to pinch each other up and down as much as they could. 48 just got a little tap, tried to hang on to it. He actually kept it out of the inside, or the outside wall rather, by staying in the gas, but actually when he came down, got the 27, another fast car, Carter Wilson, getting right side damage from that. And then when the 48 was stopped on the top of the track, battling that was going on near the back of the lead lap, caused that 98 again of Stephen Matthews, who was just our race leader just about 10 laps ago, got spun out and now also getting collected in that. So tough luck for him late in the going, but the real thing is the 97 of McKay was able to hang on to the lead for those 2 or 3 laps there, and that's not going to be much more or less than what we're going to have once the lights go off on the pace car. I do believe if we get a caution once we go green, the race will be done. So you have to look for an aggressive move by the 61 of Arbo. Arbo accidentally spinning that 98 just 2 cautions ago, has gone from 3rd to 2nd and is now on the front row. Can he complete the charge and get to the victory lane here at the new Smyrna Speedway in the closing laps? It seems that every time, no matter how many laps you put up on the board, the race always gets decided in the closing laps at these short track races. Again, the thriller last weekend. We're looking for some more good racing. If you take a look rather at the schedule with the MIRL, again this week is the Sean Simple signed 150 at New Smyrna. Next week, October 30th, is the Go Tire HRM from South Boston in the South Boston 250. November 6th, you got the Stafford 150. November 13th, the Weekly Press Langley 150. November 20th, the Thompson 100. There's so many great racing. You can take a look at that. TimsCorner.ca. Again, take a look for the Maritime iRacing League tab and the link on that page, and take a look at that for more information as well. Again, broadcasting every Wednesday night here on ETVLive at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock Pacific. Great racing for sure, and we're going to find out who is going to get the victory lane finally here, as it is getting ready for the final restart. The lights are still on that Ford First Racing Mustang pace car, looking to shut them down this time by the start finish line. Will they do it? Are we going to get the one to go? There you have it. The lights are off, so the field's starting to double up. Again, the capacity crowd of 8,000 people have come out to support the local short track race here at the new Smyrna Speedway, and they are ready for what is about to go down, and nobody knows how this race is going to finish. Will your race leader make it to the checkered flag? Will Ricky Arbo complete the late race charge? We're going to find out, because we're side by side. The lights are off on the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car. Watch for him to go down the pit road right here off of 4. The 97 waits, and he goes. Green flag is out. The 61, however, of Arbo is still there on the outside. A caution would end it. The 97 pushes up a little bit. He's going to clear him. Ronald McKay to the race lead. The 61 of Arbo going, try to look to the inside in 3. Still single file up front, side by side for 3rd on back. The 22 of Keith Beck gets in there. The 61 of Arbo into the outside wall. He keeps it pointed forward for now, but now it's old Ronald McKay at the front of the field with less than 2 to go. The 61 of Arbo, heavy damage, 3 wide, back in the pack. They're going to hang on for it for just enough time. Side-by-side positions will change here from 3rd on back, but because of that bobble, Ronald McKay is going to take the white flag. One more circuit to get to the checkered flag. It looked like the 61 had something for him. 61 getting a shot from the 22 of Mack on the inside, and this time through turns number 3 and 4, Ronald McKay is going to pilot that number 97 to victory lane at the new Smyrna Speedway. Ronald McKay celebrating on the radio. Mike Rhino congratulating him. Travis Roma as well. Carter Wilson. All the drivers expressing their congratulations to Ronald McKay on a hard-fought victory. A crazy finish to this 150-lap race at the new Smyrna Speedway as they came wrecking across the start-finish line. Not sure if we can get a replay of that. Not sure what happened, but they were wrecking in turn 4, and 75 of Tim Terry went around. The 23 was involved, so they wrecked in 4. I know they were wrecking in turn number 1. So they all wreck across the line, but in front of the madness is Ronald McKay, and that's why he's going to go to victory lane. We're going to go to our final commercial break, come back, the post-race show, and wrap things up here from the new Smyrna Speedway. It is ETVLive's live coverage of the MIRL, the Maritime iRacing League. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Where you could hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETVLive sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Travis, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR iRacing.
And welcome back to the new Smyrna Raceway here. 150 laps are in the books, and when it is all said and done, it is the driver of the 97, Ronald McKay, going to victory lane. Ronald, what a heck of a last 30 laps there. How are you able to hang on and get to victory lane?
Yeah, it was quite a finish for sure. Before that last couple of caution flags came out, I was running 4th there. I was just telling the boys, I wasn't gaining on Ricky. I wasn't losing, but it looked like Keith and Mike were kind of battling enough where they were backing up to Ricky, and it was basically going to be a 3-car fight to the win if we would have went green to the end, because I didn't have anything to catch up from that far back. And the last pit stop there, we went in, and I tried something in practice today, and it didn't hurt the car at all. So that last pit stop, we done that, and got some track position, and took it home.
And definitely talk about the green flag run there at a track such as the new Smyrna Speedway, 0.48 of a mile in length with 23 cars. We had a pretty rough going there, a lot of contact going on, several cautions. Where were you in all that? Were you able to, keep your nose clean for the majority of the night? I know you qualified in 12th, so you were about mid-pack when we took the green flag. Ronald McKay in the 97, you got a copy? Having some technical... Oh, there you go.
I gotcha. Yeah, we were riding behind Kevin Savory for the most part there at the beginning of the race, and just kind of putting laps on, and Kevin's a safe guy to race around. You don't have to worry at all with him, so we managed to get up through there and got a little bit of track position inside the top 10, and then at the end there, the cautions fell the way we were looking for it to happen, and worked out good. I was able to hold them guys off at the end there.
Now walk us through that final restart there with just a handful of laps to go. You had company on your outside, the number 61 of Ricky Arbo. Arbo got loose with contact with the 22. If he did not get loose and you guys were side by side, did you feel confident on that inside line to be able to still bring it home to the checkered flag?
Well, I got ahead of him at the start there. I didn't give him very much room, I can tell you that. I gave him enough, but I didn't give him a whole lot either. But I think him and Keith got together. They're battling at the back, but I had to do something right away because all them guys behind me, they had 4 tires, and we only had right side. So I knew the race after when that last caution came out, we were going to have 2 or 3 laps to go. I knew that the restart was going to be the race if I didn't mess it up.
Looking forward to next week's race. We are going to South Boston for the South Boston, actually the Go Tire HRM South Boston 250. How do you feel at that track in this race car? And do you think we'll see you in victory lane there as well?
Well, 250 laps a long time around South Boston, and a lot of things can happen. I know the 98 car is always really good at South Boston, so I'd say he's going to be the guy to beat, and I'd say the 42 will probably be back, and then you got Ricky and Keith and all the rest of them guys. So it's going to be a battle. Hopefully we can just finish 250 laps at that place. That's a long time.
It'll be a tough race for sure. Well, congratulations on your win. Who makes it happen for you? What shout-outs do you want to throw out there?
Well, I'd like to throw out to Sean Simple Signs. Sean sponsored the race tonight, and he came on board with us this year, and it was pretty awesome to win for your sponsor, and Action Car and Truck Accessories, and Tim's Corner Motorsports.
And definitely a great victory for you tonight, and good luck next week in that tough race.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good evening.
You too, for sure. Well, a great night of racing is in the books. Week 3 of the second segment of the 2013 MIRL Maritime iRacing League Series comes to a close with Ronald McKay getting to victory lane after 150 grueling laps at the new Smyrna Speedway. That's going to do it for us for tonight. Again, next week, you heard him talking about there, 250 laps at the South Boston Speedway. It's going to be a tough one for sure, but tonight, again, the Sean Simple Signs 150. Sean Simple Signs located in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Vinyl cut signs, anything from Chloroplast signature to vehicle decaling. Give them a call at 902-578-7022 for more information on that. That's going to do it from the track for us. Again, tonight's race was also brought to you in part by Tim's Corner Motorsports.ca or timscorner.ca. We will see you next week. My name is Evan Pasoko for Laura Lawson on the cameras. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week at South Boston.
Network. Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV Live, sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.